In fact, today I share with you a story about public transport. Now that you have come to know that there are many free buses or free bus services in the country, I play a small role in that. In June 2008, 3 months after I became MP, on 4th of June 2008, the then Prime Minister Abdullah Badawi decided to increase petrol prices by 40% overnight. And I was in Seoul with the then Penang Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng. We were thinking how to respond, because at that time we were opposition state. How to respond. And we came up with the idea, I said, why don't we do free buses? Okay. Because at some point you will have, the way to deal with international oil prices is not to subsidize in the long run. In the long run is to replace private passenger car during peak hours with buses and with public transport. So we started the free bus in Penang, initially in inner city with Rapid Penang, and later on crossing the bridge with a what they call program called BESS. Over the years, I continue to be very passionate about public transport. In 2019, I happened to holiday in Penang, and my friend Jonathan Yeo, who works for the Chief Minister of Penang, said, why don't you meet someone who is running public transport in Johor? By then I was already a politician in Johor, from Penang to Johor. So he said, Mr. Lim Chen Chuan is holidaying in Penang, and he's on his honeymoon. So we took his time away from his honeymoon and to talk about public transport. Talk about how to improve public transport in Penang, in KL, and in Johor. So I'm here, very glad, very happy to support your work. And let's give him a round of applause. I believe that our society in the long run should shift away from subsidizing petrol to paying people to take bus. Because how you pay people to take bus depends on how you do it. I'm not saying literally pay people to take bus, but I think the society should move away from subsidizing petrol to really subsidizing public transport, particularly buses. And I'm not just an MP for Iskandar Puteri, which happened to have seconding in my constituency, or just within my constituency. I'm also a state assemblyman for Perling. So those who do not know where Perling is, if you travel to Johor and stay in Doubletree, that's part of my kawasan. In the State Assembly of Johor, I've articulated this view that we must start thinking of a future where the Greater Johor Bahru may have to aim for a 50% modal share. At the moment, in Greater Johor Bahru, only 10% of the usage of transport needs are met by public transport. Another 90% are met by private vehicles. It is my hope that the Johor State Government, the federal government, and the Singapore government can work together to devise a mobility plan, a cross-border mobility plan, so that we look into how to increase the modal share with RTS, with a lot more buses, with a lot more usage of public transport, to increase the usage of public transport in Johor to 50% in the decade time. And in that context, I think HI Mobility plays a very important role. You're the most important operator in Greater Johor Bahru as well as cross-border. And I'm surprised to know that you also operate in Kuala Lumpur. I just told CC I'm a bit surprised. I didn't know that you're also operating in Kuala Lumpur. But I see great prospect in HI Mobility, and hopefully you will do well and will do even better. And hopefully with you doing better, it means that Malaysians are on buses more. And how to define progress? In your video, you mentioned about progress. a former Bogotá mayor who eventually ran for presidency and not win, says something like this. It says, progress means the rich also take buses. Progress doesn't mean that the poor have cars. The progress means the rich also find it comfortable, convenient, and genuinely nice to take buses as well. I hope to see that sort of society. I hope to see a society where many more people will take public transport, and I applaud your work and I congratulate you on this IPO. Thank you very much.